Hey guys, this is a tutorial on the practicalities of how to repair an inflatable. The two main things that we're going to be looking at are when you find a tear in your inflatable and when your motor stops working. So here's an example of taking apart a fan that isn't working and replacing it. First you unzip to be able to expose the motor, take it out of the casing so that we can see what we're dealing with. You don't want to peel away until you find the zip tie that is holding its place. They're always held together by a zip tie, and you're just going to snip that with a simple pair of scissors. And then should be able to pull it apart. Seems to be stuck a little bit more than I expected it to be. I'm just going to see if there's another part that's holding on. It's not quite pulling apart. And I think I still see a cord holding it on, so I'm going to look for a secondary hole where there's maybe another attachment, but no, I think I may see underneath that there's a secondary zip tie on this for whatever reason. That's not as common, but there you go, be aware of that. So I will cut that off there, and then should be able to pull it out. No, it didn't quite cut. And so always got to be ready for the unexpected from one inflatable to the next. Alright, so there we go. So pull the zip cord out, and then it easily just flops right out. And pull it out through the hole. You want to get all of your gear out of there. Make sure you're taking everything with you. The cord attaches onto the motor. Your replacement motor will have its own cord, its own plug. Everything should come with its own light set, so you'll want to detach the lights. They're always held in place, sometimes with a string tie. This, however, seems to be kept in place, so just going to find where it's in place and pop the cap that is holding that in place there. Alright, remove that, and then we just grab our new one, place that, run our light in, bring that up through the hole. Managed to find white on white on white here. And I'll poke that out there and get the cap back on place to snap it in place. And then it's a matter of putting the motor back in. I'm gonna make sure everything properly, so you have your light wire is not wrapped up with your cord. So when placing the fan back in, you want to make sure the fan is pointed out. If it's pointed in, you're just going to extra super deflate your inflatable by pushing all the air out rather than sucking it in. So you just want to pop it in, make sure to find all the border, match that around it, and then you're going to slip your zip tie back into place. Many inflatables, it's just a matter of holding the nylon around the fan and putting into place. This particular one has a little bit of a sheath that you're going to just slide the zip tie through. Seems to be longer than the zip tie that I have, so I'm going to go ahead and double up on that so that I have enough length. Slide it together, and then I just get rid of the edge so that I have room to maneuver it around the neck of it. And we'll go ahead and slide that right in. Fit it through the extra head of the extra zip tie. Just gotta finagle that in there. Give me a second, folks. And just slide that right around, keep working at it. This is my first time replacing the motor on this inflatable. Everyone might have slight variations, but overall the main principles here are going to be universal. So I was very confident in doing this as the case study, even though I haven't done this one before. Just keep working away. So we just caught at the edge here and just looking for an exit hole for it to come around so that I can put it into the female end. And we'll just work there. I think we got the hole. Just work its way around. And get it out of there. Now, as you'll see, I did make one mistake as I'm doing this. The cord itself should come out the same spot as the fan, but coming out through the zipper, you're just gonna have to cinch stuff extra tight to maintain as much of an air seal as you can. So I'll just get everything back together, pull that zipper as tight as I can, and we'll turn that on, see how she goes. All right, so that's it for repairing a holiday inflatable. We'll see you next time there, holiday artists. How to repair a tear is significantly more straightforward. For a much larger tear like I ended up having on this little fella, he ended up flipping himself over a fence one night in the wind and got caught and tore the top end of his hat off and had a big huge gash that went all the way along. But my wonderful wife was able to repair this for me, and in the end you can barely even tell the difference between the seam that she did and the seam that goes along naturally on it. And it just takes a simple bit of thread, needle, and some patience, and you can sew that up. The other way, if it's just a small tear, you get a little bit of a gash, you can just slap some packing tape on that. Or if you have some more dense solid tape, duct tape or anything like that, and it happens to be the same color as the area around the tear, you can easily use that. Just make sure it's something with quite a bit of tackiness to be able to maintain in the rain and snow and wind and everything else. But those are very simple fixes overall, as frustrating as they might be. All right, so that's it for repairing a holiday inflatable. We'll see you next time there, holiday artists.